any of that, but you guys do for getting up this early. I've got tons of kids and tons of grandkids, and I don't have to get up this early, so you get 2 gold stars. What I want to try and do is get you guys to remember me and our organization today by the time you leave. We have a website that's grown significantly in the past 6 months, and since I bet almost every one of you in this room has a cell phone and everybody knows how to surf the internet, I think that's a good place to start. And if you go to SMNOF.org, because we're an organization, not a commercial enterprise, you can get some basic information here about what we're doing. So please start here. We're also trying to register every alumni of Shawnee Mission North. That goes back to 1922, which all of you should be aware of is when Shawnee Mission High School started. And we'd like your names on that list as well. As we get new names, we don't have to chase you down. We're looking at an all-school reunion, or a possibility of an all-school reunion in about 2 years, because that's the 90th anniversary of Shawnee Mission North. It would be great if we could have young people involved with that, in addition to the antique people that we're chasing. To remember back when it was just a high school and the only high school in Johnson County. I've got some literature I'm going to leave behind that will give you a little more information about who we are and what we do, which includes some updates covering the last quarter and last fall, and a faculty update that we sent out. It kind of covers some of the things that have been going on as we've been quiet as far as the public is concerned. I'm going to give you an OFA. That's an acronym for an Opportunity Funding Application, which is the grant application form that we use. We get those from individual students, we get those from family members of those students, and then we have a system that we process them through in order to provide some financial aid or assistance. And something I'll mention also, we're looking for volunteers, and I'm going to get to that in just a second, but we too have an IROC form. We just stuck our logo on it really big so that people would know that you helped out with us. I don't have all the same exciting items that you could help with here in school that Mr. Kramer does, but we do have lots of things we need to have done. And what we're looking for really in our volunteers, particularly at the student level, is for some students to come in, get involved in the organization, and begin to take over some of the responsibilities that we have like adults. So if there's an opportunity for you. I think I've skipped over the fundamental, which I'm not sure all of you are aware of, and I'm going to read off of the homepage of the website. Shawnee Mission North Opportunity Fund shall provide financial aid through direct funding of grant and scholarship gifts to individuals. And those individuals shall be students currently enrolled at one particular educational institution. And I don't have to tell you which one that is, but for those of you that are asleep, that would be North, which would be all of you and all of your friends and all of the people who will be coming to school next year and the year after that, and then let's go on about 3-4 decades before we stop. There are people in financial aid in this community, just as there are in that community. And we're trying to find those people, contact them, let them know that we can help out. How do we help out? We don't buy cars, we don't buy computers, we don't buy big screen TVs, but we can help with incidental expenses. Class fees, some of those are waived by the district if you've got a financial challenge going on, but there are sometimes classes you might want to take that you can't take or your parents say you can't take because there are no finances available. That's where we want to help out. High school is a really great opportunity for everybody, including me being back here after I graduated from another high school, but it is an opportunity. And if you've got an opportunity you want to take advantage of here, we want to help you do that. So the idea is, here's an avenue where friends who can't do it financially can start to ask for some assistance so you guys can do the work and maybe we can cover a small expense that will keep you going. Our generous contributors, of which there have been many, are assured that their funds will pay academic and other high school fees for current North students in need of financial assistance. In this very personal aspect to finding and funding, our directors have taken to heart. And we've got a board of directors that is growing and a group of volunteers that's growing as well. So that brings us back to North. We have an annual meeting coming up, May 26th. We can use some volunteers maybe to help run that. My daughter Angela is organizing it, but through the website you can make contact. And if that's an area you might be able to assist, we would be interested. We're trying to tie that to a fundraiser, and this year, because we're not going to do the Spring for North event that we did throughout the school last year, it was a little bit premature, I think, and didn't fare as well as it should. We're looking for ways that we might be able to fundraise connecting with students. Maybe offering in a silent auction things that students have created. So that's an opportunity you all may want to keep in mind. Volunteer recruiting is going to go on at that meeting to some degree because we're now reorganized and we're really anxious to grow our numbers. So the board is expanding this year and we would like a really strong group of volunteers, whether it's students or adults or a combination thereof, helping us out with a variety of activities. We've got literature that needs labeling, we've got networking that needs to be done, we do have a presence on Facebook as well. Flyers need to be distributed for the event. We need to distribute flyers and brochures around mission. So the list goes on, and again, the opportunity here is if you want to become involved in a nonprofit that helps your own school, we're interested in hearing from you and knowing what you'd like to do, because chances are there's somebody we can team you up with and some things can be accomplished, but you'll be given a certain amount of independence in how you want to go about doing that and what you might be able to do for us and for yourselves and your friends. I'm going to leave some things behind. That's a brochure. We're trying to get that logo to stick in everybody's head. We're doing a little advertising in the school in some of the publications, the programs here in the drama department, the newspaper, so that people will be reminded to tell folks who need help that we're a good starting point for that help. I've left behind a couple of flyers that go over again what's happened to us in the past 6 months or so, the things we've accomplished that people might not be aware of. There's a letter that summarizes what's going on. I'm going to leave one copy of last year's annual report because it's meager, and this year's will be bigger and more impressive with more contributors and more people involved, and the comparison between the two is going to be important. On the back side of some of these flyers are updates also that go over some of those issues. And last but not least, I'm going to leave behind a few of our OFAs. That's it. It's a 2-page form. If you could look at it, maybe you're interested in talking to us yourself, or maybe you know somebody who's really got a need and a problem at home. Low income, poverty level, let's talk frankly here. Maybe there's been a crisis in the home. Somebody's died. A couple people have lost their job. All kinds of things can put somebody in a spot where an opportunity you or your friend may want to take advantage of may be passed by. And if that's the case and a reasonable amount of money is the obstacle, that's something that we may be able to make go away. So I'm going to leave those things behind for you as well. I'll bet about half of you remember a guy in a black shirt stood up in front of you and droned on for a while. But if some of you ask me some questions, it'll convince me that that wasn't bad. Here's the back of the shirt. Get back to the alma mater. You guys get it, right? Yeah. I thumped that up. We're not fundraising here. I am not fundraising today. We fundraise from the kids like you who graduated North and went out and made their first $10,000. I was going to say $1 million, but that's too hard to reach for most of us. I'm not quite there myself. So we fundraise out there. What we're trying to do here is channel it back. And in summary, what we would like is to get the students involved so that we have a student presence on campus that allows us a more expedient way to help. We have helped some kids with summer school who either needed it to try and get ahead because of a scheduling conflict coming up the previous year, or needed it because they actually, and this is important to hear, sincerely realized that they should have done something different and then they wouldn't have to be in summer school. There have been some extra expenses involved with drama. We're trying to work some things out so that we can help some people with yearbooks who weren't able to get those. And we're getting a few inquiries now that deal with activities in some other classrooms where you have an extra fee. I'm not going to use this as a specific, but you know, jewelry costs money to get into, photography costs money to get into, there are expenses associated with athletics and other things that may be incidental, $10 to $30, $50 or a little bit beyond. Go to the website, go to Facebook, search for SMNOF, and get in touch with us if we can help you out and you guys can help.